Hello everybody, it is me Darcy, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to this, the Unnamed Podcast, the time of the week where I sit here with this and we talk rubbish, what's been happening in the week, and really whatever else comes to my mind, generally my mind, very rarely his mind.
Fair.
Purely because we're not even sure he has a mind.
No, we're aware that it's there.
No, I don't think you do.
Look, I've come up with some topics.
I've looked at you and I found you lacking.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You've been weighed, measured, and seen lacking.
No, jeez.
Guys, welcome back. It is December, and we're going to get things started the way we often do, with a little bit of channel news. Kris, take her away.
Okay, indeed. So this week on Monday, we jump back into Coral Island. And by we, I mean him, and I didn't do anything. Yeah.
Kris there has just pretty much summed up the entire channel, but yeah. No, guys, I was back in Coral Island. Recently, they did an update. It was pretty awesome. It's been an update I've been looking forward to for a very long time. I mentioned all this in the video, so if you've seen the video, you're hearing a lot of this for a second time. But basically, in the Mermaid Village, which I haven't got to yet in my game, there is a tattoo shop. It has been there since the Mermaid Village was a thing, and basically, it's never had anything.
Yeah.
And then this has probably been like that for about a year.
Okay.
So anyway, they finally added that, and I'm like, yeah, finally, woo!
You're going to spend all your money on a tattoo instead of...
No, because I'm not at that point yet. I'm not even close to that point
But
yet.
but eventually you will, and it's going to cost more than the clothing that almost bankrupted you.
Yes, but again, by that point, I will be, making money.
Yeah, but it's going to cost a lot more, and that's going to bankrupt you anyway.
Let's put it this way, right? In the games that I have where I'm actually at the point where I could do something with that,
Yeah.
I have like over $1 million gold coins or whatever they say.
Okay.
Which, is a lot of numbers in any situation, but especially in like the Coral Island, Stardew Valley situation. If you get to 1 million, it's like nothing is beyond your reach. Go, buy.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm really not worried about the money. The big thing is that this update that I'm really looking forward to, and I was like, yay, it's just something that has no actual meaning to me.
Oh. Fair enough.
Especially in the game that I'm recording.
Yes.
The other thing they added was they've added some stuff to the Halloween event. So
Okay. Won't be happening until
festivals.
next year.
No. It happens in the game. It's the festivals that happen
okay,
in the
fair
game.
enough. Yeah.
They've added some more to the Halloween one because the Halloween one,
Lacking, I assume.
it had a few things, but like obviously the goal is always to have more kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
they had a haunted house where since the game was launched, it was like you'd go there and just be like, oh, that's the haunted house. Well, now you can actually go into it.
Yeah.
And so there'll be something related to that. Again, very cool, more accessible to me and in the situation where I currently find myself, but still like a whole season away. So nothing that's gonna.
Yeah.
I think I did the math, and it takes me on average about 4 episodes to get through a season.
Yeah.
I'm like at episode 2, so I'm like halfway through summer. The Halloween stuff or the haunted house stuff, the harvest festival stuff, all of that happens at the end of fall.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, it's still about 8 episodes away.
Okay, well, fair enough.
So none of the updates they made changed what I was playing and how I was going about things, but it was a very exciting update because, as I said, with something like Coral Island, once they kind of hit the point where they're like, yeah, you've done most of the main story stuff, you've got the town to level A, you've unlocked this, a lot of games go like, that's it, now all it is you just come back and you farm, you make money,
just maintain,
and you buy stuff, and you spend a bit of time shuffling things, and it's like, that's okay, but like, give us more, give us stuff to actually, and it's rough because it's all about diminishing returns,
of course.
but I feel like there is a whole lot still that they can do, and I'm glad to see that they are still doing stuff, because it would be very, very very easy for them to be like, but we've done everything. And just like have these events where it's like, oh, look, here's the haunted house. You can't go in there. Because, most games like that don't let you go in there.
True. Yeah.
And from what I've seen, again, I haven't actually looked into it too far because, as I said, it's practically meaningless to me at this point.
True.
But I was sitting there going like, oh, okay, and it looks like you can go in with just different people.
Okay.
So like you can go in with someone, and you'll get different stuff
Different
happening.
reactions and everything.
And, yeah, so it's
Fair
like
enough.
that gives a little bit more stuff, and a few of the things they've added is like seasonal guests. And so there's occasionally just more randoms on the island and stuff like that. So they're making these changes, which I like. They kind of make the game feel a little bit realer. I think something they've added, I'd have to wait until, I get to that season, festival, whatever, is that the people are finally wearing the costumes they're supposed to be wearing. So like they've put in their Halloween costumes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because they've always been like, oh, look, I'm in a costume. And you're like, no, you're in your normal clothes, fool.
Okay.
But
they jumped a little too far ahead on that one.
they've got, the thing is this, right? And this is why I like Coral Island, is that they're ambitious.
Yeah.
They just haven't achieved everything that they want to achieve. And you can tell with a lot of it that they are sitting there being like, we don't know how to do this, but we're going to keep trying. And I appreciate that.
That's good.
I appreciate that. I'm just like, yeah, absolutely. Keep trying and keep, making the game better. The worst thing that you could ever do, in my opinion, with a game like this is be like, okay, so we still said we're going to do this, and we are. We're just going to go quiet for a couple of months while we work on it, and nothing's going to be added, because that's kind of when people go like, cool. And you lose a lot of the driving force behind the game. A lot of people will just fall off it.
Yep.
And they'll come back every now and then because it's a chill game that, and that's what they're chasing. But you'll lose the main momentum, and once that's done, in the modern world of gaming, once you've lost your main momentum, you're done.
Yeah,
Unless you do
something
something massive to bring everyone back.
Which is different.
And like, as I've said a heap of times, what I would love for Coral Island is to add a little bit more exploration to it. Like, the whole point is, like, you're on an island. So I would love a future where you can, like, go and visit little islands that are around and find, different rare materials that can only be found on these islands. But you can only visit them at certain times and stuff like that. So, there's a little bit more to do exploration-wise. Because the thing with this game is that there's some really cool, like, places you go to do certain things, but it's like, it's only a little place. And you're like, oh, but there's this whole place here that apparently exists and I never get to see it. And it's like, correct. And there's a little bit of, exploration with the undersea stuff and the cave, and there's a jungle area, but they're quite the undersea one's pretty big, but like the rest of them are quite small little little areas. And so it's sort of like cool, whereas I think in a game like this, the exploration is kind of the big secondary thing. Like, obviously the primary thing is building up your farmstead, earning money, but the secondary part is exploration. The farming is obviously the primary.
Yeah.
You do that in the morning, but then you're done with it, because it's like, I've planted all my plants. I've watered them all. Everything, I've collected all the stuff that needs to be, that's not taking your whole day. So then the rest of the day is either done exploring, talking to people, which is again part of the, exploring thing. Yeah. So it's like, exploring is just as big a part as farming. And so, like, once you've gone through all the cabins, it's like, okay, well, I can go back in there. And you do, because you go to kill monsters and you got to mine. Yeah. But it's like, you're not exploring anymore. You're just trying to be as quick as possible. And you go like, oh, I'm going to go into seas and do some exploring. And you do. But once you've, like, got to the end, it's like, cool, there's nothing really to explore down here. Like, there's a few little, like, caves that you can go into. I think they call them, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
it doesn't add a lot of extra time.
So it's sort of like, you know, the way that I describe it is like, just like they have generated random maps already because that's what the caves in the cavern system are.
Yeah.
And it's like, so just do that for like other places and be like, oh yeah, you can go exploring here. You don't know what you'll find,
go
but
to another island.
there's stuff, you know, and like that'd be pretty cool. It's like you can fight harder enemies. You can, you know, just make the exploration a little bit more. So it's like, cool, I'm going off exploring, whatever. Because I think that's a big part of the game that they kind of be like, but people really don't care. And it's like half the game. Really, it's half the game. Yeah. But the other big thing that I was kind of like thinking about while I was playing it is that it feels like, now again, I didn't read the actual patch notes because I don't care that much.
Fair.
But it does feel like they've made the combat a little bit beefier. Like when I was swinging my hammer around, it felt more like I was swinging a big heavy hammer around.
So it was slower and everything.
It was slower, but it would also, like, the way the enemies
reacted,
got hit by it, and the noises and the actions just made it feel like I was lugging around some big heavy. And it was good. Like, it was really good. Like, I'm hitting enemies and they're like staggering back a little bit. It's like, oh, that's some good.
And you need when you're using that type of weapon.
It's little things like that have always been like issues. Like, if you go back and watch some of the earlier ones on the episodes, you'll see me using the same weapon, and like you hit them and it's just like you swing through them and they just stand there, and then you hit them again and you swing through them and they just stand there. And it's like, cool. You know, as a non-combat focused game, I can understand why that's the amount of, you know, battle kind of stuff that you've got. But just this little change of being like the hammer making really solid sound when it hits them. Yeah. The fact that it seems like it swings slow and my character seems a little bit like, you know, less stable when he's swinging it. And then
has it always been a thing, like if you're using a different, like, does it have stamina?
It does have stamina.
Does that affect the stamina?
Yes and no, because it's not like a Souls game where stamina regenerates. You just have a set amount of stamina for the day, and so everything affects the stamina.
So I wasn't thinking
it's
like
more
Souls,
like speed. I think the reason I'm using the hammer now is because it does more damage, but it is a slower weapon.
Which is pretty standard.
Whereas the
my thought was like, does it use more stamina to use
I don't think so. I think everything kind of has like set stamina, but like as I said, it's like the effects. So like, with a sword, you might get 3 hits in the time it takes you to do 2 hits with the hammer. Which,
depending on the type of sword, of course.
Yeah. But, like, you go...
obviously, if you're using a rapier, it should be pretty quick.
Not that much weapon. It's not a fighting game.
No, I know. Just throwing an idea
They've got, like, sword, spear, big sword, and hammer.
Standard broadsword. Yeah. And everything. Okay, yeah.
But, like, basically... I, as I said, it feels like it's part of this update that they've done some stuff with the fighting, and it's made it feel really nice.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, you're not going to sit there being like, wow, this is a fighting game now, because it's not. It's not. But you're hitting, when I was swinging this hammer around, I was like, oh, wow, it actually, it does feel like I'm smacking these guys with a hammer. And it felt good, it looked good. The enemy interaction is some of the best it's ever been in that episode. So I look forward to seeing more of that and seeing like actually playing around with the different weapons now, and seeing, you know, how that affects it. And because, like, as I said, it felt really good with the hammer, but if that's just what they've done for every weapon, it's obviously not going to feel so nice. Like if like the spear pushes enemies back a little bit, that's going to be a little bit weird, because that's not really the point. But, you know, as I said, like, the update, something I've always been looking forward, like, something I've been waiting for a long time, and now, you know, they've done it, and it's like, cool, that's really fun, and a few little changes that have just made the game a little bit nicer.
which is good.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, well, that pretty much sums up Coral Island then. So, Wednesday this week, we get back into Satisfactory, and I believe this is our last recording so far.
Yeah, so this is the one that we finished up with.
Where I finally get in and start cleaning up.
You say that, but not really.
I started.
Yeah, I've seen what you've done. Let's put it that way.
Look, I've gotten rid of some things, so I've stopped production entirely. There is some stuff still going, because there's still a few things left there, but I've moved stuff around. It is cleaning it up slowly. We can't move the miners, for one. There's set locations, there's nothing we can
no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, I've seen, well, not only have I seen, it's in the video where where statements like, well, that will do come out, which, when you feel like you've done something to the best of your abilities, I often find people say that will do. No, they don't. They like perfect.
No. I think there's still some more adjustments that I want to do, and I think that was with the conveyor belt.
It's all conveyor belt shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the same with me, because in this one I actually built the refinery section. So
yeah.
I remember talking last time we were talking about Satisfactory being like, I can't remember what I do for the rest of that video, because I'm pretty sure I spent the whole time working on that pipeline.
Yeah.
But I finished it in the first episode, and I was like, yeah. And then I remembered that, I actually did go and set up the whole manufacturing of all of the stuff.
Yeah.
And it's messy as fuck, and I've acknowledged that, but
you did say it a few times in the video.
Yeah. The point is, when I was doing it, I was like, I just need to get this stuff running again, because we literally didn't have it running anymore.
And we kind of need that to upgrade things. But
yeah, so I was like,
at least get a backlog of it, because
exactly.
Our productions guide, I reckon, we're still not even going to have it fully up in the next video.
But I was looking at it and I was like, going like, oh, okay, well, like, even now, like, when I was doing the editing, I was looking at stuff going like, oh, well, why did I do that when I should have done that over here and blah, 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 and just like little changes. But I was like, I can tell looking at the video, my only goal, my only mindset is to just get it done. You know, get this done, finish it off, or get it started at least, because I can make tiny changes. I can make the bits that need to be changed happen. Yeah. Whilst I'm playing and whilst it's manufacturing stuff, and with very little kind of stoppages and stuff. But at that point, when I was doing it all, I was like, I just need to get this running. Like, I just need to get this running. But there was like legitimately a point when I was editing where I was like, why the fuck did I do that there? When it would make way more sense to put it on the other side near the rest of my stuff.
Yeah. Because
that way I can put all of that stuff together to make that manufacturing a lot easier. Because I'm like, the future for that, it's going to need metal. I have a whole bunch of metal just being made over there, like metal rods. I'm like, I have those metal rods sitting
iron
there.
rods, yeah.
And I'm like, but I put that over here, and next to the iron rods that I'm making that stuff's going to need later, I put the fuel manufacturing, and I was like, I don't know why I did that. And it's like, it's little things like that where I was just like, oh, why did I do? And it's like, well, I did that because I wasn't really thinking about the future there. I was just like, I got to get this up and running. So now that we have it here, we have it here.
Yeah.
And there's a few things like that I have to do. Like, I want to get the trains up and running and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, to get to that point, we need everything kind of just working as is. So, that's sort of what happened there. It was like, yes, I know, technically speaking, there were better ways of doing it. But at the same time, I was just sort of like, good enough works for now.
Yeah, I think that's where I was sort of going with when I was creating that platform, but I think it needs to be up a bit higher.
Probably.
And I think that's why when I was actually connecting the conveyor belts, my responses were, it's good enough. Because I was realizing as I was doing it, like, I brought the...
So basically, I think
But either way, the smelters need to be up higher because...
And probably move back a little bit.
Well, I thought about that, but then where we've got them in the line sort of thing, the mountain's coming through. So half the issue with the conveyor belts is it's too tight at a certain point with them moved as far forward as they are. So even if I go up higher, we're still going to have that issue of that sort of hill or mountain. Let's call it hill because it's not really...
Yeah, that's why you'd move them back a bit. As I said, they're too far forward. You'd move them back a little bit, and that way you can also put like... So, yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm with the refinery stuff as well, looking at it, because I mentioned in the video that I have to... Everything that I was making was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really understand how much space refineries and all that stuff takes up.
Oh, massive amounts.
And so I think I'm at the same point as you, where I'm like, okay, well, I got to build and I got to do this, and so one of my goals, obviously, I've got to get the train running so that we can start shipping stuff between the two bases. That'd be nice. But one of my big goals is to build where the refinery stuff is some like platform stuff. And it's going to be pretty high because I still want to be able to run like stuff. Well, I still want to be able to like run the truck out that way and stuff like that. So it needs to be up above what that level would be. So there's going to be a lot of room underneath, which will be good because it means that I can do things like put fluid buffers underneath and hide them away. And that way, you know, and using verticality can make the changes that I need to make. So,
which is something we never really did, even in our first time we played this. We never really went vertical all that much.
Yeah, and I think that a bit of verticality is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, it all kind of depends on what I can and can't get away with, but you know, like, I think there's definitely a verticality aspect that we can take advantage of.
Well, yeah, that's what I was just thinking then as well. Like maybe making the construction sort of come down a bit, because it obviously once we get to a certain point, everything's going to be at a certain level, which will probably be below our highest point.
Well, I think the big thing is that what I'm imagining is keeping everything as clean as possible, but also sectioning it off. So that's going to mean needing enough space underneath everything to run conveyors, to run stuff like that. And once we start, if we give ourselves enough room, it's like we can run 6 or 7 conveyors on top of each other, pretty much.
Well, that's what I was thinking about when running these, the iron to smelters, was at least having 2 layers. And it's going to be.
But then, like the other thing that I'm like looking at and like trying to do is like keep as little blockages as possible. Yeah. So it's like when you're looking at the iron and it's just sitting there as it's waiting to go into smelters, it's like, okay, add more smelters. And it's like, but everything's fine. And it's like, no, add more smelters because we're making.
Well, we can obviously use it.
It's like we're making more iron than we're smelting, which means that there's a stoppage somewhere. You know, we should be using. We should have.
But see, the thing is, I think we're always going to be doing that with the iron, though, because there's a certain point where it's slowed and it's.
But that's why you add more of the earlier stuff and less of the later stuff, if that makes sense.
But the later stuff's what's going to slow it down.
Yes. So, but by having more of the earlier stuff, it's like cool. Now the later stuff is just like, so the thing is that you go like, okay, so I'm using all of this iron to make this, to make that, to make this, and then you go, okay, well, now I'm going to store this, and you go, oh, but we don't use iron rods anymore, and it's like, actually, you'd be surprised how often we do need stuff like that for little things. Yeah. We don't need iron plates anymore. Actually, we do. We need them for this. And it's like, so having all of those kind of storages. And you go, okay, but now that we've got this storage, what do we do? And it's like, cool. So storage is full. So we have another splitter and we can do stuff like literally feed things into something like an awesome sink where, yeah, because that's something we did in our last game, which was we had the awesome sync where it was like, once materials were full, I was just pumping stuff into the awesome sync to keep everything running so that we didn't have any stoppages. But to keep everything running and just be like, awesome sync. And then not only were we keeping everything running, we were also getting points that we could use to buy stuff like better ways to move stuff around. So there is a reason to have all of the storage. There's also like, oh, well, this is running and we don't really, it's like, cool, we'll put that to the awesome sync for, and kind of that's the thing that I've got to look into is like how to automate that a little bit better. So it's like, oh, this is full, it's that, and then this is the rest of it's going to run to an awesome sync or something like that. But that's all stuff that's in the future. We're not really there yet.
We're going to sort out everything else first.
But definitely the idea, I think, is to start building up. And I think the way that I want to do it is kind of like little factory areas. So it's like, oh, this is the stuff that makes this stuff, and then that will run that over to there, which can do this stuff, and, bridge between it. So it's like, it won't all become one giant platform. It'll be like, kind of like an oil rig.
Yeah.
You ever played Metal Gear Solid 5?
No.
Basically, you have a bunch of different platforms all bridged together.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, on this platform, we do this. And so it's like, oh, sweet, this is the platform where all the iron smeltery stuff is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, cool, then we have a bridge over here, and we just run a fucking thing under the bridge to run the stuff that we need to get over there. And that way, it's like, oh, there's something wrong. Where is it? And instead of having to just like wander around looking for stuff, you go like, oh, it's over here, this area. So you can just go for that area, stuff like that.
Makes sense.
So like so the refinery stuff will hopefully be over here, and that way it's not connected to the iron smeltery stuff, and that way there shouldn't be too much like underneath wise. There shouldn't be too much cross contamination where you're like sitting there going like, I need to move this here, but this stuff's in my way. Fuck.
Yeah.
Whereas like if they kind of got their own little self-contained areas, it's like, I need to move this over here, and then it's like, cool, now I need to bring this over as well, and then it's just bringing one line over instead of having to try and fuss with everything underneath there.
Pretty much.
Because that's something that I did have issues with in the last one.
Yeah.
When I was down trying to do stuff, I was futzing with everything because I was like, hang on, I've got to pull this over here and this
then you
over
realize
there,
there's
and
other
these are
things
crossing
in the way.
over, and it's like, fuck.
It's
okay.
like where the train station was. It was a mess down there.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was horrible to sort of get around and remember.
That was also because we were so far away from a lot of our stuff, whereas like,
we're sort of close to some of that stuff now, but you can't really be close to everything.
You can't really be close to everything, but like, the thing with the train was that we weren't close to quartz, we weren't close to oil.
Yeah,
so everything, and we weren't close to aluminium. So it's like,
and we brought it all back to the power station, and then back further.
So, but it was like having too much rubber would cause an issue because it would stop bringing other things over.
Even the aluminium was a problem. They getting the aluminium casing, that was
But that's all because it was all like, instead of having like, because we were shipping it all to one spot and then training it back to us, it was very dependent on what the train was bringing back. And if we weren't using something as much as we were using the other things, that would pile up, and the train would be like, I can't unload this, and then go back and pick up more of it and be like, I can't. So
which is why we started using those awesome sinks. But even then, anything with byproducts was our biggest issue.
The thing is, like, because where we currently are, we've shipped the oil to us instead of shipping the materials to us. It's like, that's an advantage because we got this. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's not going to be in our base, but there's also a lot of stuff that's just not going to be an issue because like, one of the things that I foresee in the future is nuclear stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I'm not going to ship any of that back to my base.
Yeah, we're going to keep that over there where it is.
I'm like, I'll just run a train that goes from from gathering the materials that need to be made. To dropping them off in the thing, do that.
Yeah, just keep that side.
But that's a whole thing that's in the future, because I also have to then build a nuclear storage place and all of that kind of jazz.
the not nuclear storage place.
Absolutely not a nuclear storage place. I don't know what you're talking about.
That scared me every time you're going through. It's like I just get injured and like, what's happened? Oh, the fucking nuclear waste flying above my head.
Yeah, man. But yeah.
But
so,
that's going to be the upside to this one. It won't be flying over our base this time.
Yeah. Maybe.
Fuck, of course you would.
It's a great place to build a nuclear storage.
Damn it.
But no, seriously, there's a lot to do with Satisfactory, and as I've said a million times,
Yeah.
and we've never followed through with, I would love to do a stream.
Yes.
And actually, like, spend maybe like 3 hours just streaming
To get everything sorted.
But that's doing something that I've never really done before, and I'm not 100% sure how to go about it. So
Fair.
it's something that I've got to bite the bullet on, and learn how to stream them. But it is just one of those things where it's sort of like, panic, everyone panic.
Yeah.
There's also a lot that can go wrong with a stream, but that's ideally that's the best way to move about Satisfactory at the moment, because it is sort of like, yeah,
It's one of those games you would expect to see a stream for.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like in the hour-long episodes we can achieve a lot, but like or at least in the hour-long episodes we can do what we're doing, but because of the way that we do recording, where it's like, I don't want to be sitting on 6 hours of Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Because that's something like 3 months worth of videos is kind of like sitting there being like, oh, well, but it's the most efficient way to film it, but it's not the most efficient way to hold it.
Yeah.
And then you've got to deal with the fact of, like, yeah. So one of the big issues we run into with Satisfactory is like, yeah, we do 2 hours and at a time, but those 2 hours can be 3 months apart. So by the time you get back to it, you're going, what was I doing?
Very much like in the last 2 videos.
Yeah. So usually there's a lot of not knowing what you're doing, followed by some very, very good stuff, but the way that you generally start off not knowing what you're doing. And yes, there are ways around this. I could literally go back and, before I film, watch the last thing I was doing, be like, oh, okay, so that's where I was left off. But
yeah,
if I had the time to do that, it wouldn't be an issue.
No.
But unfortunately, time is the one thing that I don't have.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Obviously, Friday we have the podcast. If you're watching this, because you're here watching this. If you're not watching this, then I'm not talking to you, so it's a thing.
So be it.
And then this week we do, in fact, have a Minecraft. And much like the streaming that I keep saying we're going to do, but we never get around to it.
We actually got around to it.
Sky Factory, we actually got around to it.
Yeah.
So first, a few disclaimers. It is only one view. It's just my view.
We are having a recording issue.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But we are going to try and fix that. But at the same time, you're not really losing anything. You're just, like, fortunately for the very, well, I say for the very start, but probably for the first, like, 3 or 4 Sky Factories, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of different stuff. We're just not. It's impossible for us to be doing that much different stuff. Once we start getting into, a little bit later, that's when it's really going to be important that we have both our views, and we'll make sure that we have them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can tell you right now, off the top of off the bat, right? There is there are roles that we fall into. Basically, in Sky Factory, a lot of the building and work is going to be done by me, and Kris is going to be doing a lot of the busy work /
labourer.
Well, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's sort of like, you know, when you're with a kid and they're like, I want to help, and you're like, okay, go do this, and you give them a task, and it's like, so like, I can imagine there will be a point where I just kind of give you some stuff and say, oh, just go do this. So
very much like the first time we did Sky Factory.
So I can focus on things that I'm doing and just have you go off and, you know, one, get me stuff, and two, you know, do other things. But usually I think generally what happens is, and what you'll see in the video and what you'll see going forward for the next couple of weeks at least, for the next couple of episodes at least, is I'll be doing a lot of advancement and then handing stuff off to Kris. So like in this first episode, you'll see me making the trees, but I'll make one and then give them to Kris and be like, okay, now get to work and start producing that stuff so that we can make the materials that we need to make the rest of it. We'll get to about, I'd probably say we'll get like at least 6 or 7 trees like that running, and then we'll start looking at building stuff and automating that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a little different when there's 2 people. I do kind of make comment on that in the video where I'm like, we're actually a lot further ahead than I thought we'd be, and it's purely because I can be focusing on things and being like super focused on being like, oh, this is how I make the next advancement, without having to worry about things like making the trees, cutting the trees down, like all the little things that are just taking time. While Kris is doing that, I'm free to just be like, oh, I need this, and then he just gives me the materials, and then I take the materials and do stuff. So, you only see my footage, but it is, and it is, you know, us just making a Sky Factory. So,
and you will hear a lot of me
complaining.
Then there was that whole thing at the start with the grave.
Yeah,
watch that.
But basically, you know, the thing is, Sky Factory, we're going to try and build it. It's going to be cool. I have a very specific way of building Sky Factory, which I prefer. You'll see us go through it, but basically, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on, and basically the way that I build a Sky Factory is I'm not one of these people who builds just a giant thing. I like to build hubs. Though I always like hubs. Hubs are kind of my go-to. One, because I'm a gamer. You know, I'm a gamer from the, well, I guess the 2000s, where everything had hub worlds, Kris. Everything had hub worlds.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And so I like hub worlds. I like to be like, oh, this is the main thoroughfare, and from here you can go to this section, and that section's got this. So, one, I find it makes everything a little bit easier. If Kris is running around going like, I need food, it's like we can go to the farm part, and it's like, oh yeah. He doesn't have to like run around being like, where did we keep the food? Is it behind this thing? Is it behind that thing?
Yeah.
The other thing I like to do is I like to create buildings.
I noticed.
So I don't know what the building will be, but in one of my Sky Factories, we built like a library type thing that had all the trees in it.
It was almost kind of like a.
In one of them,
it was kind of like the Louvre kind of thing.
In one,
it was almost like a not a museum. Either way, it was kind of like the Louvre because it was like a glass ceiling, almost pyramid-like. So it was kind of like a library cross greenhouse.
Yeah,
effectively.
In one of them, I actually just have a giant glass pyramid. That is, like, it is just a giant glass pyramid.
Yeah.
In one of them, I built like a full-on, like, it was a brick building that had like seriously, I went crazy with it. I was sitting there.
I think that was in the same one that I was in.
Yeah, I had chiseled bits and I was like making like frescoes and stuff.
Yes, you were.
And I will do it again. Like, I will. I love Sky Factory. It is my preferred way to actually play Minecraft.
Yeah.
You do get a bit of that if you're paying attention to things. I make statements like, oh, it's so nice to have this available again. Oh, it's so nice to be able to do this. It's so nice to sort things. You know, all the little things that you kind of wish Minecraft had, Sky Factory is great for.
Yeah.
Obviously, I honestly think last time we did Sky Factory, we only did it for 90 days. Like, we only...
Yeah, well, it wasn't super long.
So we didn't get to do a whole lot. So there's a whole lot of
like,
stuff.
you did a lot in there while I wasn't playing. And then I just come in and it's like, what the fuck happened?
But, like, what I mean is we didn't do a whole lot of exploring. Basically, I spent a lot of time just playing around, making things, because I enjoy that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, something you will notice is that I build hubs, and then I build buildings. So it's like, and you might think it's crazy, but, like, I'll build, like, a power station. Why? Because I want to. I want things to look like they are. And then I build hubs so that you can go like, oh, okay, this is over here. Oh, this is over there. And that way, one, when people come, it's like, oh, just go to this section, and you can kind of, the visuals of it kind of say, like, what that is.
Yeah, it's over next to the power station. Oh, okay.
And you're like, oh, what's the, oh, okay, the thing that looks like a power station is a power station. And it's like, yeah, I'm a bit of like that. So you'll notice that as we go through, I build a lot of stuff, and we build big, sprawling kind of stuff. It sounds a lot harsher than it is, like, to get around, because it's like, oh, if you're building a giant power station, well, you know, people don't go there very often. I go there a lot, but people don't go there. Yeah. It's just something where it's like, oh yeah, it's next to the power station. You go, oh, I can see the power station from here, so I go this way. And then the other thing is that I kind of build a long, narrow, which we're sort of building now, but I build a long, narrow mid-section where it's like, that's where you run around and do stuff. But basically, hubs and individual sections for individual things is sort of my preferred building manner, because I think that's how you keep things neat. One of my pet peeves is when someone's like, oh yeah, I built this, where is it? Oh, it's over there somewhere, and you go over and it's just a mess of shit, and you're like, huh? And they're like, oh yeah, don't worry about the looks, it's all functional, and you're like, but I do worry about the looks.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm aware.
I'm like, it looks like shit, and I don't want to be here with it. And so yeah. But so Sky Factory has started. It's official. It has started. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of time without Sky Factory after you get the first episode of Sky Factory, purely because the Christmas one will be coming out between them. So it'll be about a month from the first Sky Factory to the next one. Yeah. And every now and then I'll go back to the world, our world as well. Go do things. We'll go back there. But Sky Factory, we have a little bit more to do now. So we've got Sky Factory, and we've got the normal world, and you know, in the past where it's been like, oh shit, I need a Minecraft. I don't really have anything planned. Shit, I can get Kris and we can just fuck around. But now I have Sky Factory where it's like, oh, Kris, we need to do a Minecraft. We will do Sky Factory. Yeah. But if I have an actual plan, then we can go to our other world and, you know, do stuff around.
I still need to get back into the other world. Gotta finish the house.
Yeah, I was there just the other day working on a mountain.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting real close. To be fair, I have only one last challenge to put in. Yeah. Once that's done, then I just have to
do the aesthetics.
Finish building a mountain.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think, quite literally, I could have most of it done by the weekend.
I figured you would be able to do that.
It would be in a playable state, is what I mean by that.
Yes.
Would it look like a mountain? No. No, it would just look like a pathway spiraling into the sky.
Yeah.
With a giant hole in the middle. But play stupid games, get stupid rewards.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's what I did. I played a stupid game. I said, I can build a mountain. I can build a mountain in a month. I'm brilliant. I'm great. I'm the best. And I am. But that's a lot of...
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of just... Yeah. Like...
Tedium.
It's not even that. It's like...
once you start doing the mountain itself, it would be a lot of tedium.
It's actually not, because I could just do levels, right? And that'd be really easy. The hard part is actually just putting in the blocks. It's just the fact that it's
that's
like
the tedium I'm talking about.
Yeah, tedium's a little bit different to that.
Okay.
It's like putting in the blocks isn't so much tedious as it is measured insanity, because it's kind of like I'm trying to put things in. I'm trying to put things in a pattern that makes it appear natural.
I suppose, yeah.
Now, first of all, that's incredibly difficult when the only shape you can use is square, because it's not a natural shape.
No.
And secondly, it's incredibly difficult because people aren't really good at randomness.
Yeah. True.
So basically what I'm trying to do is use the forms that I've already made to try and influence the forms. And as I get higher, it starts to look a little bit more blocky. And I'm okay with that, but at the same time, yeah, it's not tedious in the fact that it's like, oh, I've just got to do this. It's tedious in it's more the fact that it's like, cool, this isn't too bad. And then you're like, oh, but I've still got another 20,000 blocks to put in.
Yeah.
Individual blocks. And there's just no way where I'm like, okay, now I just need to fill in this spot. Like, what I'll do is I'll plot out an area, and then I'm like, cool, now I have the shape, and all that I need to do is just fill in this wall.
Yeah.
Nothing here is going to be on different levels or whatever. I just need to make this. There's just no easy way to just be like, between this block and this block, fill all of these blocks with this material. It's like I gotta go in and put every single one in. Yeah. And that's the hard part. The hard part is like, once I figured out what I'm doing and I've like done the shape, is then like, cool, now I just have to fill in this entire wall individually. And it's like, you know, like I'm sitting there, and as I said, like, I don't know how many blocks are in this thing, but it honestly wouldn't surprise me at this point if I've laid over 100,000 blocks.
It's best not to think about it too much.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, that's the thing, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even mind that. I get that. That's the point. But I'm sitting there going like, okay, as it, you know, I'm doing this, it's working, but I'm just, it's just a thing. Anyway, subscriber count, Kris.
We are at a whopping 339. We've gone up a few.
We've crossed the border. We've made
crossed
it over, and it was 100% like I said.
Oh yeah, we'll keep increasing now that we've finally crossed it.
Like,
it takes ages to cross it, but once you do,
it took us. It was like a long sitting point, being like, oh, 334, let's just get to 334.
Yeah.
Then we hit 334, 335, and then it was just like boom. And we've had more subscribers in like the past 2 days than we had in like 2 weeks. But you know, these things happen.
Yeah.
But
and it's not necessarily because of our goal.
No,
it's just how it ended up happening.
And
it some reason always falls around our goal.
Yeah.
Maybe someone on YouTube's watching it and being like, oh, they're at their goal, stop showing it.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is that we sit there and we go like, oh, if we can just get over this hurdle. And when you do get over the hurdle, as I said, it feels a lot nicer. So next subscriber goal is 500. So that's a little bit away, but we'll keep you all posted, and we'll keep trucking along, and hopefully you guys will keep enjoying it. And I think that just about finishes all that.
I think that sums it up.
Yeah. So Kris,
Darcy,
I have recently become aware of a game.
Okay.
That
is it this one?
No.
Oh, okay.
That uses an AI.
Okay.
To now, it's pretty much a companion type game, but you're the companion.
Okay.
And basically, you interact with this AI.
Is it just Portal, but you're the companion, Hugh?
No.
I
honestly can't remember its name right at this moment, but I was looking into it.
Yeah.
But it's sort of funny where it's like there's this AI character. Now, when I say AI character, I don't mean like the classic AI. I mean like they are an actual AI character who can respond to what you say to them.
Okay, fair enough.
Obviously there's massive limitations with it all, but
of course.
Like they'll ask you a question, and if you say something, they'll actually respond to what you've said, even if what you've said has nothing to do with the question.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit interesting for 2 reasons. The first one is I'm like, it actually is something that I kind of find a little bit exciting, because I'm like, oh, that's actually good use of AI in video games, you know? Again, there's a whole lot of legal stuff where it's like, is the person whose voice they're using for the AI okay with it? Have they signed off on it? And I think as voice actors, people are just going to have to get used to the fact that when you sign on for a project, you're getting paid, and there's, like, I think the future is when you get paid to do voice acting for a character, what you're actually doing is training an AI with your voice.
Yeah.
Now, that in itself isn't a bad thing.
No.
As long as it's like, you can use this for this project.
That's the
only. Yeah. You can't then use this trained AI that you've already got with my voice and everything and how I say things in another game and be like, oh, but we already own this. No, that was for that property. I think that's the only way to do this going forwards. I think a lot of people are super scared about, like, oh, but if you give them the stuff to make the AI once, then they'll never need to pay you again because they'll have it. And it's like, well, there's ways around that, which is like, if they want to use it, they have to get your permission.
At which point it's
they have
a bit more money. You'll probably
have to pay you.
You'll get more money for the first time.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more work behind it. But then from that point on, it's like, hey, we already have it. We want to do another game in the same series.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Give me some money for it.
Yeah, I think that's the only way. It's to make it a use by use. And it's like, hey, if you don't have a contract, like, we used you in this game, and then they find out it was used in another game, and they're like, oh, but it was a material we already had it and accidentally got in there. It's like, yeah, well, now you're getting sued. Yeah. And I think that's the only way to do it. And I think that's going to be the way that it ends up. Because it's really no different to being like, well, you already recorded these voice lines, so we're just going to use them in a different game. It's like, you don't own those voice lines. I own the voice. It's my voice. It's my voice lines. Yes, you have the physical recording.
Yeah.
And I can understand a little bit the game companies being like, oh, but we already paid for these recordings. They belong to us. And being like, okay, I can understand why you might think that, but let's talk about your industry for a second.
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean? Well, I buy a game off you. Do I own that game? Or do I have the right to use that game the way that you tell me I can use that game? And they say, well, it's the second one. You say, so the same is with the voice lines.
Exactly.
You have a physical copy of them that allows you to use them, but you don't own them.
No.
And they go, but we do.
No, you've got to pay to use them.
No, but we paid for them. You did, just like I paid for your game.
Yeah.
But I can't then be like, well, now that I've paid for it once, I'm going to go and give it to my best mate and sell it to so-and-so because he wants to play it. And I'm like, well, I have the game disc right here and I can make a copy of it because I have the game disc right here and I can sell it to you. No. I find it very funny that people in the game industry think that way, that it applies one way for their product, but another way for a product that they're receiving.
And it's so common that it happens.
Yeah. But I think that's the way.
Especially when they get to say, it's like, oh, you're never allowed to play this game again because of this one thing you did. It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, it's cool. And that's where a lot of people, and I think that some have done it. And it's like, well, are you going to give me my money back? It's like, no.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
But here's the thing. I think that's like the best way to do it. But I think it's something that we kind of have to get used to is the fact that, for a lot of people, once you train your AI, for a company, you're probably done working with that company, and mostly what you'll receive is royalties. However, I wouldn't hate seeing a world where it's like, cool, I trained this AI to use my voice and sound like me, and I can come in and update it, and that would be extra payment for me.
Yeah.
But also, every time you want to use it, we have to renegotiate the contract.
Yeah.
Because not only do I want to be like, oh, you used it, give me money, I actually want to be able to say like, no, I don't actually want my voice in this game.
Yeah. And so this game tanked last time, I don't want it in there anymore. I don't want it. I don't want it to continue.
It's like, let's say you record a game, you build an AI, you teach it how you do all your stuff, and you say, okay, for an action-adventure game, where you're going to be the main character, right? Cool, awesome. Then they say to you, cool, now we're going to use you, here's money, so that we can use your thing again. And you go, oh, sweet, okay, whatever. And then you find out it was used in a military game where you're playing the bad guy. You go, actually, I didn't
yeah,
want
fair.
that. And they go, oh, well, we paid you. So it's like every time they want to use it, obviously they're going to have to tell you how it's going to be used and blah, blah, blah. Because at the end of the day, it may be their AI, but it's your voice.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, but no, but it's our AI. And it's like, cool. Give it a different voice and take away all of the way that I speak. Oh, but that's what the AI is built on. Right. That stuff belongs to me.
Yeah.
You putting it together so that you can have a thing that's you, but the actual voice that's speaking, that's mine.
Yeah.
You don't have a right to it. You just have an AI that uses it. And I said, I think that's the thing that we need. We just need to figure out that, right?
Yeah.
And basically how we do that is not through someone sitting there and trying to figure it all out before it happens, but having a mindset of company bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that people will be like, no, companies aren't always company bad, because at the end of the day, a company is neither good nor bad. It's just out to make money.
Yeah.
But if we go company bad, voice artist good, as our kind of mindset, and we say, okay, well, did the company follow through with this? Did the company... And when they say like, oh, well, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that, it's like, no. Did you try and take advantage of the situation? Because AI is coming.
Oh, yeah,
we can't fight it, and it's going to make gaming better. As I said, the whole reason I bring all this up is in this game, you can interact with this person, and the character interacts to what you're saying, which is cool, because you could imagine how that could make, especially like role-playing games, so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just having four responses that some dickhead in an office who has no concept of the player base,
what you would actually say in that situation.
you can say like, oh, hang on, blah, 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 this, and the people around you can respond, and the game around you can respond. AI is going to make gaming so much better.
Yeah, I didn't even think about going into that aspect of things.
The things we need to do is get the artists. We need to get their stuff locked in, because once we get their stuff locked in, like as I said, the voice artists are pretty easy. You want to use my voice, I'll train an AI, but one, if I have to be paid every time you're going to use it. Two, I have to sign off on you using it, because the AI belongs to you, not my voice.
Yeah.
So if you put me in a game that I did not say I wanted to be in, you're in a big trouble.
Well, yeah, especially if it's like, hey, we're putting you as the hero in this game. It's like, oh, yeah, cool. It's like, but the next game we're putting you in is Hitler.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on a second.
Congratulations, you will be the modern Hitler. I didn't agree to that, but anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the difficult part becomes, like, the actual, like, visual artists. And, you know, using them to train up AIs, because they're the ones that's like, cool, we trained up the AI to replace us. Now, I personally don't think that the AI can replace visual artists. I think it may... I was watching something about AI, and...
I think it'd be a good idea to use it as, like, it sets the basis of everything.
Yeah.
Then you have someone else go through after. It's like, no, we need to make some tweaks here.
Yeah, I think it's a good... I think it's a good...
I think it would save a lot of time.
I think it's a good development tool,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, you still need people, because what AI... Basically, I was watching something and they were talking about how AI thinks. And what they mean was AI can't think.
No,
so they showed a video and they said, this is how you can tell it's a real video, not an AI video. And they basically went, AI can do this, AI can do this, AI can do this.
Yeah.
So here are the 3 parts of the video. What AI can't do is go, oh, fire's hot and fire dangerous. Better put a fire extinguisher in next to those people. Yeah. And the people had a fire extinguisher next to them. So unless someone was deliberately sitting there going like, oh, put fire extinguisher next to people and stuff like that, AI can't think that through, those logical things through.
No.
So, you know, you kind of need human logic there to be like, okay, so we're dealing with this situation. Where's this? And AI will go, well, why would we need that? And it's like, because in the real world, if you're dealing in this situation, you need this. Sort of like, you know, if I type into AI, show a person underwater swimming.
Yeah.
And then AI shows someone underwater swimming. AI is not going to be like, okay, well, they need to put on a wetsuit and goggles and this.
It's like, are they in a pool? Are they in the ocean? You know, if they are in the ocean, what sort of sea life is around it?
Exactly. So AI can't think. AI can do a lot of things, but it can't fill in the logical gaps.
No.
Where it's like,
understandable.
where it doesn't it doesn't understand that, as I said, fire is hot. It doesn't understand that fire is dangerous. It doesn't understand that fire spread.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's the other side where AI fucks up all the time, and everyone kind of uses this to see if it's AI or not, which is the small details.
Yeah.
And that's why you still need people.
Yeah, yeah.
And so use of AI plus people, it's sort of what I say to students, right?
Yeah.
AI is a tool.
Yeah.
If you use it as a tool, it is a very powerful tool. It is an amazing tool. If you use it instead of you doing any work, you're fucking up.
Oh, yeah.
You're not doing it right. If you have it write your assignment for you, bad, wrong. But if you use it to help make your assignment better and save yourself time, smart, good.
Yeah.
And I think that's what these game companies need to do. All of these companies need to do. They're all so fixed on AI replacing people and being able to fire all these people for an AI system that they pay for once and never have to pay. And that's not going to happen.
No.
Personally, because you can't pay for something once and never have to pay for it again. Vehicles, machinery, computers all need to be updated, fixed, get new parts. They're a cost as well.
Yep.
But the big thing is that it's AI with humans that makes the best thing. So it's like, here's an AI generated world. Now we have humans go through and make sure things make sense. Like, look, here's a village that has no roads in it. That doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah.
Because AI can't do that. I think that's the big thing with AI, that everyone's kind of freaking out for no reason, where it's like, and I say no reason. No reason, because the reality is AI is coming and we just need to figure out how to use it best.
Yeah.
The reason that everyone should be freaking out is because you've got people like Activision and all that who think that they can build games purely using AI.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you can't do that. It looks bad and everyone fucking knows it.
Yeah.
You need to use AI and humans in conjunction.
Of course.
And how you do that is, is actually the best way possible for everyone involved, because it's like, remember how there was that massive thing about crunch culture?
No. Not off the top of my head.
Basically, in the video game world, crunch culture was, oh, we're getting close, everyone needs to do 100-hour work.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Well, AI can save you that. You don't have to have crunch culture, because it can do all of the long,
all the
tedious shit where it's like, oh, I just need to spend 6 hours doing this. It's like, no, AI can do that. Let's take your time and use it to do something that's actually valuable.
Yeah. So
Let
let it
AI do all the long, easy shit that just needs to be done, and then bring people in to do the more technical stuff that needs a human touch to it. And it's like, by doing that, by using that, yes, okay, we're going to lose a few jobs in the industry.
Yeah.
That's okay. As I've said a million times, just because you want to be in the industry doesn't mean you have a right to be. You still need to be good at the job.
Yeah, so unless you can prove yourself to be able to fix up mistakes and everything.
Cleaning out a few of these people who are bad at the job and, shouldn't be in the video game sphere at all.
Well, yes.
Sweet Baby Ink. But, like, getting rid of those people isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's bloat. There's a lot of bloat in the video game industry that's being passed down to the consumers. And the consumers say, why am I paying $100 for this piece of shit game? It's like, well, we needed 16 people in marketing to make sure that we didn't use aggressive language or offensive language, and we had to check that every single piece was correct. And it's like, no, you didn't. No. You need maybe 2 people in marketing to be like, okay, how do we sell this fucking game?
Pretty much.
You have ideas and I have ideas. Let's make those ideas work.
Yeah. And
we don't need someone being there being like, I'm here to make sure that the tone stays well and that if we don't have a toxic workplace.
Yeah.
I've always found in my life that anyone who says toxic workplace is the reason that a workplace becomes toxic. Because when you're so concerned on how it feels to be in a workplace and not concerned on the actual thing that you're making, you make Concord.
Oh, damn it. Fair.
When you actually want to put out a good product that people will love, you make The Witcher 3.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And so, basically, yes, people will lose their jobs because of AI, because AI is going to replace a lot of the menial stuff.
Yep.
That's good. We want it to replace the menial stuff. We don't want games built by 60 people who feel that they need to be validated on every step of the game. We want games built by people who want to make the game, and AI is the tool that's going to make it easier for people who want to make games.
Yes.
And that's great for the industry. It's actually brilliant for the industry, because there's not going to be a thing being like, hey, you can't make this game because you don't have 50 people under you. Oh, no, but I have AI and I have an idea, so I can start building this game.
Yeah. But you can build games without a large team anyway.
You can, but
like as I mentioned a few weeks ago, there's the game Dino Blade.
Yeah.
That is literally some guy designed it. People were like, hey, you should make that a game. Then he spent the next 2 years trying to make it a game. At the moment, it's a demo.
Yes. But
having said that, for something where someone's just gone, hey, well, maybe I'll give it a shot.
Yes.
It looks good. It plays pretty well.
What I'm saying is, with the advent of AI, with the thing, we are going to stop We're going. You hit the nail on the head, though. Let me get my thoughts straight for just a second.
All right.
When you talked about that game, you said for one guy, you added a caveat, which is, but it's only been done by one guy, so we're going to be a little bit softer on it. What I'm talking about is, as AI gets better and better, you won't be saying, oh, but for one guy, you'll be saying, yeah, the game was made by one guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it'll still be, it won't be like, so go easy on it. It was one guy spending a lot of time. It'll be like, it was a team of 3 people.
And they used a lot of AI.
And it's like, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter team size anymore, because the tools will be out there, and it'll still take time for smaller people, because they'll only have, all the human parts is done by whoever they've got. But they won't have to spend as long doing the non-human parts, the stuff that can be done by computers. And that's the beauty. And
they can literally put it in a thing of
brilliant, because it is going to remove a lot of there is something that happens in all industry, which is removing the wheat from the chaff.
Of course.
Right? Take the part that's good, throw out the rest.
Yeah.
And I think AI is the step for the game industry. And I know a lot of people are super concerned about it, and there's reasons to be concerned, but the reality is that I think when used correctly, which is AI assisting humans, not what a lot of these companies are trying to do, which is AI replacing humans, because it can't. But when used correctly like that, we are only going to have the best left in the industry. And I think that's a good thing, because the reality is, like, everyone's saying, like, oh, all these people are being laid off. Look at the quality of the game, because you say, all these people are being laid off, it's bad for the game industry. And then in the next breath, you're saying, like, and all these games that these people are making are shit. It's like, how is it bad for the industry to get these people out of the industry? It's not. Yeah. The only bad thing is when people who are passionate about the industry and are actually doing good work are let go. That's the only bad thing. And the sad thing is that the system we currently have is actually doing that more than this new system. That's the reality. Because people who were passionate and wanted to make games were being kicked out of jobs for people who met the ideology of the people who were running the business.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's not how you make games. But I bring this all back to this idea that there is currently a game out there. Check it out if you want. I can't remember. It's like something like Whispered Stars or something like that. Whispering Stars or something like that, where there is an AI companion, or more to the fact, you are the companion to an AI character, and I think that's a very it's a very interesting thing. I think it's super interesting. I think it's a really cool thing of where the games industry could go, especially for RPGs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I think it's only a good thing if RPG video games can become more like tabletop RPGs, where you have someone who reacts to what you want to do, not so much you have to fit what you want to do as that character into the confines of what someone else has already thought up can be done.
Whispers from the Star?
Could be. But,
yeah, it says artificial intelligence. That would be it.
Yeah. So, I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments about this one. But I think the best thing that could ever happen to the gaming space is RPGs that are practically like tabletop RPGs, but with better graphics.
Yeah.
And I think that's where AI can possibly take us, provided it's used correctly. I think that's the big caveat to take away from all of this. I'm not saying replace everyone in gaming studios with AI. We don't need them.
Yeah.
That's incorrect.
No, we still need some.
We need humans working with the AI. We need the AI taking some of the stress off humans, but humans still there to get everything working. And the only way we're going to do this is, one, having our big games companies use a little bit of integrity.
Yeah.
And say, yes, we want to use AIs to make things cheaper, but obviously we still need humans to do things. And to just have everyone become a little bit more okay and see the benefits of AI. Everyone kind of looks at AI at the moment like, oh, it's evil, it's bad. But there are benefits, you know, when it is being used as a tool, as one of the many tools in our arsenals, it's an advantage. It's something that makes us better. It's just like saying, like, you know, it's like when computers started becoming things and you had artists being like, I'm not going to draw on computers. I like to draw on pen and paper. And it was like, but the computer just makes it easier. You can remove your mistakes instead of having to restart. You don't have to use an entire forest of paper to have all your drawings done. It's another tool that should make us better, it's not something that we should be scared of. It is a tool. It is a tool to be used at our disposal, and if used as such, I think there's going to be some good things in the future of gaming, provided we last long enough to actually get there. With the gaming industry being the way it is, who knows? Oh, yeah. Who knows? But
maybe we'll have to start relying on just indie games from now on.
Look, the reality is, should the gaming industry collapse tomorrow, I have enough games to make it through till the end of eternity. I'm set.
I don't know about eternity.
I have a lot of games.
And your life, sure. I wouldn't say eternity.
But guys, thank you for joining us. If you like the video, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing. If you haven't already, it really does mean a lot to us here. If you want to see more from me and Kris, check out the rest of the channel. We play video games, and we have the weekly podcast, so we just get together and chat.
Yeah.
And I think that just about does it all. So
I think so.
I've been Darcy. That is Kris.
Indeed.
And we will catch you next time right here on the channel.
Yes.
See you later, guys.
See ya.